Welcome to Taco Tuesday, everybody, and thanks to Margaret Barrett and the fine people at Copper Hill Brewing. Here we go. There it is.
What is this? A little
This is a Callaway Pilsner. And thank you very much for getting us started the right way. We're also going to be sampling the Tennessee whiskey that she
Margaret,
sent.
very good, refreshing.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And that came off of the Worlds. We still have a couple of notes from the Worlds to get to. But as promised, tonight we start with an apology. Last week, I had papers flying everywhere and this and that and the other thing. And then I realized something that I said incorrectly. I found, and we finally corrected it, and that was co-ed players of the season, Maggie Geiger and Wayne Rao. That's been corrected on the website and into perpetuity for as long as we all shall live. So again, you guys, I'm sorry. I was flying and I just completely screwed up the back and forth with the championships with the players of the season, Maggie Geiger, Wayne Rao. Congratulations. And it's all fixed on the website. So that's why I want to get started. Now,
good deal. Good start.
The hot topics, we're going to get straight into this because I told you we're going to tier up, and I meant it. Okay? Tier play is coming to the ACO in Season 20. There's been a lot of talk about it. There's been a lot of talk outside the ACO universe, within the ACO universe, and people maybe in other groups that might say, well, if they've got that, I might want to go start playing or come back to playing there. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to see, and here on the screen, just kind of a summary of what tier play is. You probably, if you are a cornhole player, understand the idea of tiers. We've done tiers for a couple years, but we're going to go deeper into the tiers. So talk a little bit about what that's going to mean, knowing that we are going to do an ACO Need to Know video piece that'll be a couple minutes long, that'll go a much deeper dive later this week that you'll be able to share if you're a CO on your page with your players, but it'll give you an idea deeper into it what everything is. But let's talk a little bit about what that tier program is going to do.
Yeah, Finn, I love the tier program. So again, you already stated last year we had tiers at majors only, right?
Right.
And what happened was if you didn't make the main event, you dropped back to tier 2 or tier 3. So we just had 2 tiers last year. This year, we're increasing the depth of those tiers, as you already mentioned. There will be now a main bracket, which is also tier 1. Then you'll have a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5. So you will go all the way down to a tier 5, at the major level. First, to explain that.
Okay.
And what that means, again, is we'll still have pool play, which is a double elimination bracket. Those top players advance out to the main tournament. But unlike in previous years, what we'll do is the remaining players, so we'll have a bracket of 32. Those top 12 advance to the main bracket. All the other players, all the other 20 players will be added into a hopper where we will take them and they'll basically be grouped based on their PPR. So there's different levels of PPR for tier 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And then they get to play against people of their own caliber at the majors. So if you're a tier 2 player, it might be, I'll have to look at the list here again, but if it's 8-5 or less, you're in the tier 2, and so forth. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot easier. Yeah. We'll go into the depth, as you said.
We'll have more details when we get into the ACO Need to Know. And if you are a CO, it's in the CO guide. If you are a player, it'll be in the player's guide. So it'll all be there for you to understand, and it'll be at a major and at a regional level.
At the regional level.
So it's an opportunity to get new players to come in, feel comfortable acclimating into your group that may join your region and regional to come in and then work your way into the majors. So very excited to have this as part of Season 20. So you think about this. Adaptive is going to be taking off to a new level. The tier play, the tailgater just continues to grow. All of these different things that we continue to try to do to innovate. Skins is going to continue to evolve and to grow. And these are more bits and pieces. That's why we do the taco. That's why it's called Talking ACO and not just Talking Cornhole.
Yeah, and at the regional level, it's exciting for these guys, right? I mean, because now you got all these people that can come and play, in a tournament that maybe is meant for them. So we're hoping it doesn't scare people off now and rather entices more people to become members of the organization.
Yeah, and something else that we'll do another ACO Need to Know piece that we'll share with you as well, but there's a new, going to be a new focus on championship brackets in season 20. So talk just a little bit about what's going to happen there. You see it at the Worlds, you don't see it at the majors. So this may make sense, it may not, but it will make more sense eventually. But a championship bracket is a pretty cool thing as well.
Yeah, just real quick, there's going to be a little bit more money paid out for this championship bracket. A little deeper. We're going to go to 8 spots payout instead of 6 spots payout. And then the other cool thing about this, Finn, is it is designed just like we're doing the World Championships now. So if there's a main bracket, boom, everybody just plays through that main bracket. The top 8 finishers, win money, and first place wins trophy, etc. If it's split to 2, then we're going to take the top 4 from each of those and re-merge them together for the championship bracket, as you say.
Right.
If it splits into 4, we're going to take the top 2 from each of those 4 to give us our 8 players. They don't finish those brackets out, so not like we did last year. They'll now all be merged together to make one championship bracket. The championship bracket for doubles and singles will always have 8 teams or 8 players in it,
and pay out all the way through.
And
all
pay out through all 8 spots. So,
love it.
So kind of cool stuff.
All right, very good. Now we're going to be teasing a little bit more of the season 20 schedule, which just got updated again with some new cities. This is the most, I think, active major schedule we've ever had, which would stand to reason. So we'll tell you more about that coming up here. But again, keep an eye out this week for ACO Need to Know segments, both on the tier play and also on that championship bracket play. And one other thing that we're going to be telling you about here in a moment. But let's take this time to remind you that if you are watching on the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button, make sure you share all of this, because if you look at the plays that we got over the course of the World Championships on the digital network, they're exponentially growing, and that is a function of being shared out and just taking everything worldwide. We know that a function of having the folks in the UK watching, China watching, New Zealand watching those things kind of take off. It's a great way just to continue to wrap the cornhole web around the entire planet Earth. And if you want to be a part of that and be a cornhole Spider-Man or woman, that's how you do it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. If you want to cast us up onto a TV anytime, find your smart TV. You can make sure that you do that. Bring it up on the YouTube channel. You can do that as well. Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff. Yes, do you have some questions?
I just wanted to answer Adam Cook's question here. Adam asks, does that mean that there's going to be payouts at the lower levels, tier 2 and on down? No, there are no payouts still at those levels. We don't anticipate ever really doing that. The only section of our tournaments that get paid out is the main bracket.
Right.
So all those players, which is 30-40% of our players advance to the main bracket from the pool play, those are all players that have a chance to win money. Everybody else that moves down to the tier, the cool thing this year is, again, you're going to be playing with players more of your caliber, but you're playing for pride, and you're playing for trophies, and you're playing for additional points and rankings.
And then when you get into the championship brackets, you're playing two spots deeper for cash payout. So there is more cash opportunity, more actual cash on the line. We know that's something that always kind of is rumbling up and under, so there's an opportunity to address that and make the tier play much more competitive, much more fun. And again, the key to tier play, too, is you can play up, but you can't play down.
Can't play down.
And that is going to be a huge thing. And look, anybody that's trying to sandbag that kind of thing, they'll be sniffed out in no time.
Well, here's another one. Alfonso James Sr. asked, I hope some New York spots open up. I don't know if he's just talking about regionals or majors, but obviously we start in New York with Buffalo in September, right?
Yeah.
So a New York spot has opened up there. And we are working with a bunch of new potential certified officials up in that market. So yes, Alfonso, I think is how you pronounce that. Yes, there are going to be some cool things happening in the New York and Atlantic,
Northeast. Yeah, and Aaron says the same thing. I hope we get some regionals in Pittsburgh. We got a lot ready to give it there. A lot of people there ready to give it their all. When we get to the save the date list here in a second, you're going to see something that's pretty exciting. It ain't exactly in your backyard, but you can almost see it from there. But we'll tell you more about that, and I think you're going to know the place that this is going to be happening. So we'll share that with you here in just a moment. Richard Jones always says, well, St. Louis needs a major. Every time we drive through and around the arch, we say the same thing. A lot of people want, the craziest thing is the one where we don't have a major because of a facility, to find a facility is Indy, which would be the easiest one, really, other than Cincinnati or Hamilton. For us to get 90 miles west to Indy. But sometimes these cities don't have the space available at the time we need it available. So as we continue to work, you'll see new cities come on board, and hopefully we will just start to tighten that web and tighten that net, and we will start to see expansion and contraction that serve as many players as possible, especially new COs and new players that may be wanting to come back to the ACO or join the ACO to begin with. And the big push is on for that as well. Anybody that you know that plays elsewhere is welcome to come play with us and become a part of the ACO. And as a result of that, they can still play other places. It's not like that.
It's right.
Yeah.
And hey, let's answer this Afonso question one more time. Hey, you can consider, if you want, becoming a certified official. He's talking about he's in the lower part of New York.
Yeah.
And if you've ever thought about it or want to think about it, it's a very easy process. Go ahead and apply out online. Would love to have you
reach out to Whitney, and she'll get you squared away and get you set up. And if you want to build your own group,
Chapter, your own
or
group.
anybody that's talking about Pittsburgh, if you've got a big group ready to go, lock yourself in as a certified official and become that point of contact, because we have the 1,000 points of light all around the country, but we do have areas where it's just a little bit maybe dim as far as light goes, but it's starting to get brighter and brighter, which is awesome.
Don't forget to share us today, man. Brammy's,
Yeah.
I just saw them tuning in, one of our bag partners. Let's go PA.
Yep, absolutely. You'll be happy with this here in a moment, but you probably already know. But yeah, share if you've got a partner page. Share the taco so we can get this information out to as many possible players and possible customers for you as can be directed. Also, if you would like to be involved in our ACO push text program, all you have to do is text ACO to 833-695-1318, 833-695-1318. Text ACO to that. You will automatically opt in, and when we have things that we can send right to your fingertips, updates on what we got going on, anything new that we think you want to know about, we're not going to blow you up. It'll just be right there. Just save us in your address book as ACO text, and that way you'll know when it comes through, and you're good to go. Now, again, keep in mind at the bottom of a message where it says press stop to end, that kicks you out of the entire program.
Don't do that.
It doesn't just stop that message, the messages on there aren't responded to. It's just mainly to get information into your hands, literally and figuratively. Okay.
So Anthony Russell, hey, thanks for tuning in to the show, and see you're waiting on your application, found a venue, and you're excited to be back this year with us. So thanks for being with us, Anthony.
Awesome. And Gabriel, any news on Charleston, West Virginia, or anything in Virginia this year? Any update?
Nothing in either of those spots, but doesn't mean that we aren't working and aren't trying. So like Michigan, we're still working on different venues and working on different places. So if it doesn't happen this year for us, we'll be back there
Well, in
next
West
year.
Virginia, just because Charleston was an early season favorite for a lot of people, it bears repeating. I know you've said it before. That wasn't they don't want us back, we don't want to go back. It was a booking issue. Somehow the facility got double booked, and we got the short end of the stick on that one. But that's been a great place for us. A real easy drive for a big chunk of the country. So that's back on. I mean, that's back in the discussion, back on the table.
Yep.
The only reason we're not there is because of a scheduling snafu. So just so you know, it's not a turning a blind eye to it. It's just coulda, woulda, shoulda, and will again, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great places in Virginia we've been talking with over the years. Maybe back in Roanoke, maybe out in Richmond. There's Virginia Beach areas. I mean, there's lots of good places.
Here's
out there.
the ever-present question: Where's Worlds going to be with the laughing face?
We'll see this
every
face.
year.
It's laughing too.
Every year we decide we're going to tell you exactly whenever he wants to.
Yes, exactly. So hopefully by the end of the month we will get you the official answer.
Yep. So you still got till next July.
Aaron, you stay tuned and you'll figure it out.
I don't know
soon
that
enough,
anybody
my
has
friend.
asked this question more than he has. Honestly, I think the first person to ask this question every single time is him. Margaret Barrett is taking her CO test right now, looking forward to growing the game in the Blue Ridge Mountains and Copper Hill, Tennessee. Right on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about something else that's very cool. And this went out to Whitney to share with all the certified officials. And I love this. We had conversations and continued conversations with a group that wants to put out a cornhole cookbook. Okay, this publisher has had
a cornhole cookbook.
Oh, come on, has put out all kinds of great. I mean, this is one, and they're very specialty, like different craft books and all different things. But as far as the cookbook community go, the Amish Community Cookbook. It's great. I mean, this thing is gorgeous.
It's loaded. It's gorgeous. We have to check out some of the recipes for that one.
Yeah, and we have an opportunity to take the entire ACO family and solicit recipes for if you're out tailgating, when you got people over to play cornhole, whatever it is that you make, whether it's an appetizer or just finger foods or a dessert or something that everybody just, they basically, when they think of that thing, they think of you. That is the recipe that they want. They want your name. They want your backstory. They want to know about you in cornhole. They want a picture. Maybe they want a few pictures. All of that is part of what this will be. And if you submit, you have an opportunity to be in this book. That we're told
It's very cool.
that they've got distribution and they're going to be selling it in Walmart. So we expect this to be a very big deal, and we love the fact that they wanted to work with us, and they love the idea of the ACO family. Haley Clark, I know they're reaching out to you for something a little extra special with regard to cooking, if you would. And the Cornhole Dude is going to have a very big part on the front side of this book as well. But what you need to do, because the deadline to enter your recipe and your information is September 6th, figure out what you want it to be. Whitney is going to put out through the certified officials the link. There's a link and a QR code that you can scan to go to their page to submit all of your information. Okay? At that point, we turn it over to them, and this thing turns and burns to be ready to go by springtime. So very exciting, very cool, and this is the real deal. They did a barbecue cookbook with Kevin from The Office. Brian Baumgartner, I think, is his name. But they've done a couple different cookbooks with him as the lead on this. And they've done some really fun, really cool stuff. And again, this is a great opportunity for us to really celebrate cornhole and everything that goes with it and celebrate you individually. Now, we're going to take 10 of you who are put into the book. If there's 100 of you, there will be 10 random drawings of those in the book for a set of ACO bags, just as a way to say, congratulations, good on you, glad you were in the book, thanks for contributing. But don't miss this opportunity. I know here it would be Skyline Dip and a couple of other, versions or variations of that from Cincinnati. But you've got something that you make that everybody goes crazy for, and that's exactly what they want this to be. So the Cornhole Cookbook is the real deal. We want you to be a part of it, and we want you to show off. Very cool. I think this is going to be awesome. So I think you saw the graphic there a moment ago. This is what will be posted by Whitney. So you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about, and you'll see the QR code there and also the link. But that will take you right to where, and it'll walk you through every single step all the way down to the photos. So get in there and send a note. Send a note back to Whitney or play at AmericanCornhole.com. Probably that would be better. If you submit something, we're very curious to see who submits it. You don't have to give us everything that you did, but we would just love to know that you submitted. And you could end up in the book, standing next to it at Walmart. Maybe Walmart, your local Walmart, will have you come in and do a book signing. Who knows? I don't know. But a great opportunity for the ACO family. Sounds like a lot of fun. Any chance for a Xavier University alumni tournament, Frank?
Glenn, I'm telling you right now, it's interesting you say that. So talking with a couple of universities about some special stuff, and just stay tuned.
That's the first I've ever heard of that.
Stay tuned.
Very good. Good stuff. All right. Hey, we did have a survey that went out after the Worlds. Everybody seemed to have a blast. Your surveys were spilled out all over informally on Facebook and other places. But the survey winner, Andrea Spencer from Mississippi, she won the opportunity to grab free entry in an upcoming major. So congratulations, Andrea. Thank you for filling out your survey. They are going to be more important than ever in season 20. Very important. We appreciate you guys taking the time to fill those out. That gives us a lot of, I think, really good information to take into a city when it comes time to show the impact that the ACO family makes on a city when we roll into town. Something else, we're going to get into the Save the Date calendar here in a moment so you can take a look at it. But look down below. Our bag partners have been scrolling since the very beginning. We have, what did we determine?
58.
We're just shy of 60 season 20 authorized stamped bag partners. And we are expecting an influx of more from what we're being told. So as you see some of these bag companies floating by here, there's some new ones in there, as a matter of fact. Do you remember any of the new ones off the top of your head, or can you think of any? I mean, we got old favorites in here.
Not off the top of my head. Let me see if I glance at that.
Throwing Stones, I think is new.
All Out is a new one. I don't think I remember All Out from last year.
Man Bags, MANN Bags.
That's Desmond. So he's a good cat. He's been with us this year.
HL Board Co. Hammer Time.
I just saw that one. That's new to me.
But I mean, it's good. I mean, I'd love to just go through and name everybody. Maybe I will really quick. 157 all out. You want me to do it?
You know what's awesome?
What?
Is that how many of these have come back?
Right.
I mean, that's what's beautiful. I love having these partners on board with us, year in and year out. And, our goal is to help them grow their business, and we want to hopefully reciprocate that by them helping us spread the word of the ACO.
Absolutely. And this scroll is intended to be consumed at all times. Even during the Worlds, it was running under the stream the entire time, too. Again, if you're watching and you're new to Cornhole, throw something down in the comments and say, hey, what kind of bag would I play? I tend to throw a higher bag or a low bag, or I don't know what to throw. Somebody in these comments will tell you a company and a line of bags that you need to go try just to get started. And trust me, it's like tattoos and golf clubs. You will become addicted.
You know, I'm missing right here. I don't see Great on there yet. That's Daniel Lilly's company out of Europe, but those are approved bags that I must have missed getting that in.
For ACO Europe,
Yeah, so Great's not on here right now, but they're another approved bag. So 59, Finn.
Yep, there you go. So, I'm going to run through this real quick. 157, All Out, Angry Panda,
Oh, you are doing it.
Arcane, B3, Bad Boys, Bag Brokers, Basement Bags, BD Bags, Big D, Big Daddy Cornhole, Blueprint Bags, BP Bags and Boards, Brainy Bags and Boards, Breaking Records, Brewer Bags, Brothers Bag. I'm going alphabetically.
Yep,
Brothers, Bullseye, B-Dubs, Cornographics, Cornslinger Bag Company. I know. There's 2 pages. Cornslinger, CBC, Dead Nuts Cornhole, Element, Elite, Grace, Gusto,
Margaret, I'm going to try some of your
Hammer Time,
doing this.
Hammer Time, High Roller, HL Board Company, Humble Goat Bags, IMF, Killer Bees, LaBelle Burner Series. That's a new one this year. Lucky's, Man Bags, Miggy Boards, New Mexico Custom Cornhole. That's a new one. NFQ Bags, Obsessed, Olympus Bags. A couple of new ones in there. Over the Top Pitch, Rocket Cornhole, Roswell, Sack Slinger, State 31. That's a new one. Saw those guys at the Worlds upstairs. TBC, Templar, Throwing Stones, TNT, True Cornhole Upstage, Why So Serious Cornhole, and X Level Cornhole. And, of course, Great Bags, GR8 Bags out of Europe. So, whew! Love it. You can see all that run right across the bottom. Hopefully I didn't screw up anybody's name there, but the bag partners, key to season 20. More going to be developing out of the bag part of the industry and the part of the ACO. So looking forward to that. Now let's talk a little bit about season 20. Because we've talked about this, save the date. We continue to, I'm going to drop that down here and take a look. We continue to add new cities, new markets, and we're going to be adding, I think we've added a new Pro Series, so now we're up to 4. We'll tell you about those here in a minute, but we got to get this bad boy. I mean, we're 17 days away from the beginning of season 20, and we begin, as we mentioned, in Buffalo, New York, at Riverworks.
I was just enjoying the time laying in my bed and catching up on, whatever it is.
And if we could take a moment to say thank you to the Field of Dreams for doing construction this year.
You know what? That's honestly, I got to be honest with you, Finn.
Appreciate that.
As much as I missed a year off or 2 from the Field of Dreams, it's well deserved, I think, on all of our parts. Just to take a breather, man.
Yeah, and I think when that place is finished, it's going to be
awesome.
Mind-boggling. But yeah, so we're already, like I said, 17 days away from getting Buffalo underway. That's going to be at the Riverworks Complex, which is a badass indoor-outdoor space, and it's going to be, I think, perfect time of year to be in Buffalo.
Oh, it's going to be a great time to be in Buffalo. But hey, so I just want to say one thing, because I'm noticing a lot of comments coming in here, right? Okay. So I would love to just challenge everybody right now. We got done naming 59 bag companies.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of listeners right now. Tell us who you're throwing for. Tell us the bag company of your choice. In the comments fields, man. I would love to see some of our bag partners getting some love out there from the different listeners.
Yeah, I want to see. Let's see. Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, well, you completely threw me off.
I did.
I'm new. I don't know what's going on. But no, I see Logan. Obviously, the last name Mia. I'm guessing there's Cody in that family tree. Talking about Elite Brothers Bags. Anthony, Cornslinger, CBC's in there. IMF. As always, Adam Cook. Cornographics getting a little bit of love. There's a handful of others. I mean, you asked and you shall receive. So that's good stuff. And again, we continue to invite you to cooperate with your bag companies to find different lines that you can help get out and promote. Let's see. There's deals being done here on the side.
Hey, Adam, you're right. I mean, Blanton's would be a great bourbon for us to have as a sponsor. Or maybe Finn went and did a little trail test on like 8 of them or 10 of them.
I did
right?
the Bourbon Trail Friday and Saturday, and we did Buffalo Trace, picked up some Eagle Rare, was the bottle of the day. Then we went to Makers, which is a whole other story, which makes me cry, so I'm not going to go into it. But it goes back deep into my life. We did that. Then we went up into, and what's funny is we went up into Louisville and spent the night. And Angel's Envy is up there. Old Forester, I think, is up there. We did Heaven Hill as on our way up, and so on and so forth. But we went in a little place called Buzzard's Roost.
Buzzards.
And we went in there like 10 minutes before last call, and they're like, yeah, come on in. They were very cool, very nice. And they said, oh, Makers. I said, I'm an ambassador for Makers. And they said, well, you need to become a Buzzard Roost ambassador. So I signed up for the ambassador, and she flops this down on the bar. It's awesome. They have their own challenge coin, not unlike this challenge coin.
Boom.
So I don't know if you can see those challenge coins, but very cool. The Season 20 ACO challenge coin, which I will never be caught without again. More information next week on how you grab yours and what
Thanks
it means.
to Toby.
Thanks to Toby, exactly right. But, yeah, they have their own challenge coin, so now I'm a member of that. But then we went to, we went to a Wild Turkey, and then we went to Woodford. So I would tell you, the only reason I bring all that up is guess where I found Blanton's? Nowhere. So I went down the rabbit hole on bourbon shows when I got back, and it's going to be a few years before you see quite a bit of Blanton's out there and available, and they may never be able to make enough of it. But good point. We're open for, Green River was a great partner for us in Owensboro. Their weeded bourbon was outstanding. They were on a lot of these shows that I was watching, a lot of history there in the Owensboro area. So any of that stuff, man. Any of that stuff, we are happy to do. Pitch Bags, High Rollers getting some love. Bramey's, Arcane, Basement. I love that you're all down in here throwing down for those who you throw. Think it's great. Adam Cook's drinking some Buffalo Trace right now. Love it. Love it. A couple people talking about what to do since we can't be in Panama City Beach this year, and that facility got sold. So there you go. That's one. That's the one that got sold out from under us. So we just got to find another place.
The thing is, could we find another spot in Panama City Beach right now? Yes, but it'd be 10 miles in at a just a convention center or a sports complex. I want to find something more special for our players, Finn.
Yeah.
Something that
one was
like
as much
Panama
about the
City Beach, it was
as
about
the
where it was
competition.
located and what it was all about. And that's what we go out and research, is try to find those great destinations, those great places to play.
And sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not, but then we try to find a different one or whatever. And I think one of the cool things that everybody had a good time at one of these majors isn't even on this new list that we have just yet, that's just been added as a Pro Series. We'll get to in a moment. So Buffalo, we talked about Buffalo. September 1 and 2. That's a Monday major.
Monday?
It's at the OCC Roadhouse in Clearwater, Florida. This is our first trip to the OCC Roadhouse.
Well, this is what's so cool about that one too, Finn. And working with the team down there at the OCC Roadhouse, it's an indoor venue, right? It's like at the what do you call it, an awning or whatever?
Yeah, kind of like
over,
almost like Buffalo.
It's exactly like Buffalo. So
Riverworks.
both of those two are kind of set up the exact same way. So what's cool, though, is on Friday and Saturday, and particularly Saturday night, they have a, what do you call it, tribute band?
Tribute band, Genesis.
So all day
tribute
long
band.
they're playing music, but at night they close down and they've got a ticketed, VIP section, $20 a ticket. Well, I've been working with OCC Roadhouse, and they're giving all the ACO players that come to town a free $20 ticket.
Oh, right on.
So if they come into town on that Saturday night, you want to party with us. And I don't know if anybody remembers Genesis and Phil Collins, but they were actually pretty good in the 80s.
I'm going to say most people watching this show remember Genesis.
And so I'm looking forward to going to that. But I will be there. Hopefully some other ACO players will be there. So anybody that registers for the major at the OCC Roadhouse in St. Pete's, Clearwater area there, will get a on the list, and you will be awarded a free entry to that.
Taking to check that out. That's awesome. And we were talking about those facilities being very similar with that in Buffalo. I want to go back to Buffalo really quickly because Jay and Lynn are some new folks that we're working with in Buffalo.
Amazing.
Amazing
folks.
What is it? Out and About Cornhole? Is that the name of their group?
I think it's Out and About Cornhole.
Out and About. So they've got 20 or 30 people ready to come in and rock Buffalo.
I think Lynn is more the one that's out and about. I think Jay's always trying to reel her in. At least that's what I experienced when I was at the World Championships, when they stopped at the after party, and Jay's trying to get out the door, and Lynn's
like, no, come back. So I think this Buffalo is ready to rock and roll with the adaptive cornhole. So we are going to rock and roll to start the season in Buffalo. But if you look down this list, Lake Charles is typically where we've kind of started, our soft opening, if you will, at a favorite place to get started. The Legends in Bryan, Texas, right out there outside of Texas A&M. Back to Toledo. Chicago, a brand new venue in Chicago. Atlantic City, back to the Showboat Hotel. That's going to be awesome. Then the Spooky Nook Major is going to be our first of at least five Pro Series. But as you look down the list, and it'll continue to be updated, this is the most updated list that we have, you'll start to see there's a new one that just got added. As we mentioned, Spooky Nook here in Hamilton, Pennsylvania, Manheim, Pennsylvania, Spooky Nook.
You know what? There's a little history to that Spooky Nook, too. That was the
first one.
Well, that was the first Spooky Nook, and it was the first time I ever met Caleb Hurt.
Is that right?
And I had the junior and Tammy Williams said, hey, you got to see this kid play. I think he's going to be, quite the player. And he and Matt Guy ended up in the championship match.
Is that right?
And he gave Matt everything he needed, man. This is when he was like, I don't know, Caleb was maybe 17, 18 at the time or something like that. But it is a great venue. It's out there on the East Coast for our players on the East, a little north, right?
Yeah, northeast.
Not far from Philadelphia. So talking to some of those New Yorkers that are in the southern eastern corner of New York, that puts one pretty close to you guys.
Yeah, not far from Pittsburgh. We were talking about Pittsburgh earlier. If you got a group that wants to come out and be a part of it, make a weekend out of it, absolutely come out and do that. But I mean, Tupelo's in there, SoFi in Upland, California, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Pocatello's back, South Bend is back Thanksgiving weekend, Fresno, Dallas, at AJ Sports there with our friends from Big D.
Big D.
Jonathan and the crew, Big D.
Concord,
baby. North Carolina. This one just added Fort Smith, Arkansas.
So that's pretty cool space, pretty cool venue. I did a site visit last year on my way. I think it was on my way down to Bentonville, Arkansas. So the facility is amazing. They've got a lot of great little bars. This was a place, Finn. I told you I ran into that bar and met that guy from Europe.
Manchester.
Yeah. That he never ended up coming out like I was hoping he would. But
the guy you met, there's 5 people in the bar, and the other guy's from Manchester, England, right after we had just announced Manchester ACO Europe.
So good stuff.
So Fort Smith, then Owensboro, the Super Major, Beloit, Knoxville, Medford, Dalton. We're going to do 2 in Medford, actually. We're going to be back in Dalton, Georgia, Clarksville, Tennessee, Tulsa, Bentonville, Peoria, and then Shreveport-Bossier, which is just now been turned into a Pro Series.
Dude, so that I'm so excited
pre-party,
about that.
Yeah, that pre-party at that outdoor complex and the live music and everything was from everything I heard of. I tried to work to help to set it up. I didn't get to go, but I'll be there this year because I want to see that pre-party.
It's it was absolutely one of the best, if not the best, pre-parties we had all year long.
That's awesome. So Shreveport-Bossier will be in there. Toledo again, Upland, Texas, Duluth, Mobile is back. Chicago again, Camp Margaritaville is back, and then Branson. So we still have another Pro Series that we want to get in there. But how about that? So the updated update will be out to you very soon. So start making your plans. The first couple are on sale. You go get in through Ticket Sauce. We posted them on a Facebook page. They're up and ready to go on the webpage as well. And you made mention of Caleb Hurt. There's something we shared today. Caleb and Isaac were featured on the local news in Virginia. So we shared that story. If you want to check it out, the quote royal ACO royal family featured on their local news tonight. And anytime you guys have stories like that where you've made the local news or you're in the paper, share those with us so we can share those around with everybody else. That's awesome.
So hopefully any of those players are coming out to Hamilton, Ohio. What is that, October 4th, 5th in Spooky Nook? We'll be presenting the King's Ring there. So,
nice.
So hopefully, we got the size in from Little Junior, and I don't know how long before he grows out of his ring.
Well,
but
he might want to order a little big.
Yeah, he should maybe order that thing a little bit big. That's actually a good point.
It's not a bad idea. Half size.
But anyway, excited about that. So if you happen to plan to come to Hamilton, Ohio at the Spooky Nook, we will be presenting Isaac Hurt with the King's Ring this
That'll
year.
be fun. Jay and Lynn, Buffalo, here we come. Looking forward to seeing you out and about at Riverworks. Those are on sale and ready to go. OCC, the complex there in Clearwater, the offer to do on a Sunday, Monday major, and the offer to do the Genesis show for us, the tribute show for us, and let our players in at no charge. Very generous, very cool. That's on sale as well. More will be put on sale, so you can register and get ready to go. Start making those plans and check out AmericanCornhole.com for everything that you need. I don't have anything else that's specific other than next week we're going to focus, I think, on memberships, and we really are on a big push to get memberships in because we want everybody to be able to come in and take advantage of the tiers and the different ways to play and the different ways to engage, not just with the ACO, but with cornhole in general. Cornhole is not getting smaller ever. It's always going to grow. And let's grow it with people we want to grow it with. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying,
Yeah,
Buzz.
we will be the miracle grow on this sport because
Can you put some of that on my head for me?
yeah, well, I think this is. Yeah, it looks like. Well, somebody. It looks
I
like,
need some Miracle
I think,
Grow.
Yeah, take that off for a sec. I think somebody hit you with Roundup. So anyway, but bottom line is, we're going to talk next week about memberships. If there's something you want to hear us talk about, feel free to throw it in the comments. We'll take a look. What things like what I did over my summer vacation? Bring it on. ACO B4. Bring it on. All of that. Taco at AmericanCornhole.com. Continue to bring that stuff, photos, whatever. If you wore your shirts out, your ACO gear out somewhere around the world, maybe you went to Paris for the Olympics. Probably not because we were busy. But if you did, show us your ACO. Let's take a look at it. Send all that to us. We'll continue to feature that. Anything we can do to make this about you, we will. What's best for you and what's best. The best about you is what makes
Did you say, you probably did and I just missed it. Did you say the before?
ACO before.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's one of the things,
Yeah.
Finn, I think is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love it.
So I would love for more players to get engaged and tell us what the heck you were doing before you started playing cornhole. Yeah, I would say in the sport arena, but it doesn't have to be sport, right? I mean, it could be you were an actor, you starred in a movie,
Sure.
you won a horse race, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of car. It doesn't surprise me that we've had a lot of bat and ball sports, hand-eye coordination sports, and racing, whether from horses to cars to motorcycles. This is the most competitive group of people I've ever seen in my entire life. I tell people all the time, I make a joke about it. I say there's two things these people do, and I need to expand it to three. They play cornhole, and when they're not playing cornhole, they're looking for a place to play cornhole. And they would, and the ACO family, they will have elevator races if they think they can win them. So that's
That's so true, and we can talk about those. But a real quick plug for an app that's out there right now that's actually kind of fun. If you haven't played it yet before, try it out, man. Just go to the Apple Store, the Apple App Store, and try ACO Head, and then the number 2 Head. You can also find it for Android as well. So it's a pretty cool thing.
yeah. We're gonna have more on that later.
Yeah,
too.
you can play for fun. You can actually play for money. So let's do it.
It's right now sort of in its soft launch phase, but why not get in there and start figuring it out? It's sensitive. It's not easy, but it is fun. And I'll tell you what, as much as I didn't want it to be, it's addictive.
And you know what?
It's addictive. And if you want an easy win, I'm on there. So just you'll find me. I'll be on there going, nah, 4? What'd you have? Oh, you beat me with a 5? All right, next game. I got a 5, you got a 6. Next game, I got a 13, you got a 14. Sort of how it works. But
There we go.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a cool game. And more on that when it's ready for the full blown launch. But go check it out again. ACO Head, the number 2 Head, and you'll find it. Get in there. DJ Skipworth, you need one in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Well, I tell you what, between Knoxville and Clarksville, I think we've gotten a pretty good coverage in Tennessee.
Tennessee's pretty loaded
but
right now.
I wonder, would there be a space in Gatlinburg that would allow us in there? I mean,
Yeah,
everything is
I've-
just so stacked up.
They've
in
got a
there.
convention center. I've actually been researching that for years, so maybe one of these days.
Gatlinburg, Pigeon
Yeah,
Forge,
there's
Dollywood.
a couple pretty good moonshine companies in that town.
Yes, there are. And there's Hillbilly Golf and Throwing Stars and Pancakes.
There you go. We got all
What
that.
more do you
all
need?
that covered, baby.
What more do you need? A Sunday, Monday tournament, says Jeremy Jones. Yes. And that is Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
That's why. So
Well, Labor Day. Is that Labor Day weekend? It's Labor Day weekend.
No, it's the end
Yeah,
of May.
Memorial's in May. This is we're not in the end of May. We're in September. It's Labor Day weekend.
The OCC tournament is a Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, but that's Labor Day weekend coming up.
Oh, God, it is.
That's all right.
What year is it? What day is it? I don't know what's going on. I'm still a little hopped up on the goofballs. I'm sorry. Good Lord. Eric Hoppenjohns says, "Hey, I've got my partner for the adaptive, so that's awesome."
Bowling Green. We've actually been talking to Bowling Green a little bit. Missouri. We've got a good one in Missouri. There's another possible hit going on in Missouri. And again, we'll talk about that on what is it? Our need to know.
On the need to know segment. And watch for those coming later this week.
And I'd like to, on a need to know segment sometime, Finn, I'd like to educate the players. Like we educate our COs and we educate our ambassadors and governors and stuff. Just what the strategy is for us. Why are we placing majors in certain areas? Everybody wants a major in their backyard, but we can't do that.
We only have one in ours.
Right.
And not always.
And what we're trying to do is spread the love the best we can across the United States. And as we go outside these walls and head to Europe and head to China and head to Canada and head to Mexico and stuff like that, we're just trying to make the ACO as accessible as it can be to all players across the country and the world.
Yeah, Richard Jones, you all featured me in the ACO before with my softball. Appreciate that. Adam Cook says he's involved in competitive napping.
Hey, send us a couple pictures.
Yeah, let's just get some pictures. Baby. Although they would be very awkward selfies if you were able to sleep and take pictures of yourself. More majors in Missouri. Pittsburgh boys, I know a great place. All right, all you got to do is tell us about it. We'd love to be able to know everything about every place, but we don't. So let us know. All right, what else? There's a couple other questions in here. There was a talk. Yeah, the BW cornhole bags, the Ron Jeremy bag, sitting right in the middle of the hole hitters, right there in the middle.
Is that somebody said something about that?
Somebody was saying, "Hey, there they are." He goes, I didn't even notice. But we will feature some of our new bag partners as soon as we start getting these lines and get familiar with them. We'll start telling you more about them. But it's just kind of fun to have them out front. Whenever we get a chance. So thank you guys so much. So Margaret Barrett says the 1843 bourbon is from Ocoee. I'm not sure.
I'm going to let you
exactly sure the name of it, but I do know it's Ducktown, Tennessee. So Tennessee whiskey, appreciate
Ducktown,
you there.
that's about as good a name as Rabbit Hash.
That's
Kentucky.
That's pretty good, but I bet you don't have a dog for a mayor. Rabbit Hash does. That is a true story, actually. Look it up. Anyway, hey, don't forget, if you get and Whitney is going to get these out to the COs. Get them out to your players. If you have till September 6th to get into the Cornhole, this isn't it, but the Cornhole Cookbook, and get your recipe, your backstory, your history with Cornhole, and a photo of where maybe your place to play, or your family, whatever, into this cookbook. It's going to be sold in Walmart. Can't wait to see who submits what and start making some of these recipes. Going to be big fun. The link is out there. The scannable QR code is out there to get going.
And that book is not going to take till next year to be published. They're planning on having that thing printed and on the shelves, I think.
In the spring, right? I think. Weren't they talking about?
I mean, at
February,
least.
March?
Maybe at the latest.
Yeah, so that's why the turnaround. And they say, different things are, different books are different, have different timetables. But this is one that they really want to push to have ready to go once 2025 hits. So don't miss your opportunity to be a part of it. I know I feel like I'm on a Home Shopping Network right now. We're going to get you some nice cubic zirconia earrings with it. And then it comes with this awesome little cover. No, but it's really going to be cool. I can't wait. I might actually try to learn how to cook some, or get Haley to maybe cheat and teach me something real quick that I can put in there.
Keep saying, Finn, we got to get a taco special on there, man. That's what I'm thinking. We got to come up with a hot taco, baby.
Yes, my recipe.
Somebody send your taco specialties to us, and then we can send them into the book.
Yeah, so we'll put it in as a collaborative recipe, if you would. Anyway, bottom line is so much good stuff happening. Hopefully you were able to watch the whole episode. If not, the hot topics start everything out, and I think that's how we're going to start from when we really dive into season 20. New look, new feel to some stuff. Can't wait to get into it. Appreciate you guys for checking us out, and we're going to wrap things up, I think, in the only way we know how. Frank, I need a partner for Buffalo, says Keith Jackson. So there you go. You can work on that. In the meantime, thanks again. Margaret, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Copper Hill Brewery, appreciate you. And thank you very much for the 1843.
Margaret, mine's empty. Send me another case.
Well. All right, very good. And in the meantime, I'm Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. He is Frank Geers, the Cornhole Dude, with season 20 approaching. No better time to remind you to
keep on pitching.